What's good, y'all? Welcome to an episode of Buzz Boys. I'm your host, Terry. I know it's been a little minute, man. It's off season, but we do have something that just dropped. The schedule. The Hornets actually put together a pretty dope little anime cartoon thing. It's pretty cool. Go check it out. Um, and there's some interesting, tad bits from that video. Um, but the schedule was out. It's here. Um, some interesting things to take away from it. First things first, the Hornets lead the NBA in the number of back to backs. We have 16 of them. Um, so that right there is like yikes. Um, it is kind of interesting to see why we have so many. Um, the most is 16. Five teams have 16. Uh, the least is 13 back to backs, and eight teams have that. Um, so it's just to see that. Oh, it's just like as a team who's been plagued by injuries, seeing us have the most back to backs in the NBA is a little alarming, but it just I feel like vindicates Jeff Peterson's decision even more to just bolster this guard room with just so much depth to the point where we can survive anything. Uh, I mean, just the addition of Colin Sexton and Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, you know, 16 back to backs. Even if LaMelo's perfectly fine, and hopefully he is, I don't see him playing 16 back to backs. I just don't. That second half of those back to backs, I don't see him playing all 16. So ultimately, and that's crazy. Like 32 out of 82 games are back to backs. Like that's kind of wicked. That is actually like insane. Now that I'm actually really thinking about it, but yeah, there's no way to realistically expect Melo to play in every single back to back. So having Colin, having Spencer, Trey Man, KJ's taking a step, and then even Khan can handle the ball. All of that is really important, especially when you look at this schedule and how it's put together. Um, Out of the 16 back to backs, six of them are home and home back to backs, which is good. Obviously, you don't have to travel, go anywhere. Three of them are first games at home, then we go on the road for the back to back. Two of them are on the road, and then we come home for the back to back. And five of them are road to road back to backs, which is tough because obviously you're traveling, getting into a city, and then you're gonna have to do that all over again. And you're really not getting rest or downtime before or after games. So that's gonna really be like kind of the most wear and tear, and especially if you have to end up on the West Coast for any of those, because now your time zones are changing. So your body's used to doing something at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now you're doing it at 4, or you're doing it, well, no, you would be doing it at 10. So everything is just shifted off. Your regiments is going to be hard to align. Shout out to Hornets Reddit for getting these numbers. Um, but yeah, it's tough. Um, I'm trying to pull up the graphic. I know the Wizards are one of the teams that are up there with us. Um, and I know the 76ers are up there as well. And, you know, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it, bro. Like, you got Embiid, you got, it's just, they're not going to be able to make it, man. They're not going to be able to make it through. It's too much. I know the Phoenix Suns were also up there. I'm trying to think of the other teams that were up there. But yeah, it's a good amount of teams that, it's five teams that have that back to back. Um, Ultimately, I think that we can still overcome. Yes, for sure. Um, NBA Cup schedule dropped as well. Um, in our group, we have the Miami Heat, the Milwaukee Bucks, the New York Knicks, and the Chicago Bulls. Um, Anything's possible. That we can win our group. Yeah, anything's possible, man. Um, as far as the Heat, they're not the same without Jimmy. Um, you know, Andrew Wiggins, Bam, Tyler Hero, but it's just not the same. Um, the Bucks, it's kind of just a one man show right now as far as Giannis, and I mean Kyle Kuzma's second fiddle. They're human. They're mortal. They can be beat. The Knicks, is obviously the strongest team. But I feel like we beat them in the group last year. I can't remember, but they were in our group last year. And then the Bulls, are the Bulls. So, you know, never know. You never know. And also another important tad bit: the Hornets have three national televised games. Um, Last year, I believe we only had one that was scheduled, and that was, the Bulls game. They always try to get the, Lonzo versus LaMelo thing on TV. Um, but either LaMelo's hurt or Lonzo's hurt, and it just never really comes to fruition. So, I see they didn't take that approach this year. Our national TV games are the Cavs twice and the Spurs once. Um, so yeah, December 22nd we play the Cavs on the road. That is on Peacock. Um, January 21st we play the Cavs again, and that's at home. That's on ESPN. And then January 31st we play the Spurs. So two of the games are at home. So definitely for those games, got to make sure we show up, have the crowd rocking, because a lot of eyes are going to be on us. And if you do well in national TV games and you're winning games and our record is pretty good, we could end up with a fourth or fifth or sixth game. Some of these things are not set in stone, they get flexed. So even right now we have three. If we're having a terrible season, we might only end up with one or none. um and don't get me wrong, three is more than we had last year. I believe we only had one last year, and I think it got taken away. I don't think we had any last year. um but I think we did have one game on NBA TV last year. I don't even know. But teams with the fewest national televised games, three is still on that list. Um, Now we do have more than some teams. The Jazz only have two. The Nets only have two. The Pelicans only have two. The Raptors only have two, and the Wizards only have two. So it kind of shows the hierarchy that it's feud. Um, and the Hornets and Bulls have three apiece. That's the lowest out of everybody in the league. Um, so three is better than two, better than one, better than none, but it's still on the lower end of the league. Um, and when I first saw the number three, I'm like, okay, maybe respect for us is going up league wide, and I mean a little bit. You could say it is because we have more than the Jazz, the Nets, the Pelicans, Raptors, Wizards. So we're not dead last. A little bit of a little bit of a hierarchy, but still it's low. And the reason why I think we have three and some of the other teams have two is simply because now you have more streaming services that qualify as national games. You have Peacock, you have NBC is now in, you have uh I want to say TNT just naturally, but nope, ABC, ESPN, Amazon Prime. I think those are the five. um and they actually have a schedule. It's kind of a lot. On Mondays, the game's going to be on Peacock. Tuesdays, NBC and Peacock. Wednesdays is just ESPN. Thursdays, just Amazon Prime, which is going to overlap with Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. So, don't know how that's going to work. Friday, Amazon Prime and ESPN. Saturdays, Amazon Prime and ABC. Sundays, ABC, NBC, Peacock. So, I don't really like this. It's a lot going on with the Nationals schedule. I just kind of wish you could just easily watch your teams. It is what it is. Good thing for Hornets fans. There are going to be more local games coming, local broadcasts for us. I don't even know if I'll be able to get them here in Raleigh, but that's a big problem for us, is just blackouts. And even if you have league pass, you still can't watch your team. Like it's just a lot, man. We've been going through a lot as Hornets fans to even watch this team, and it's not even a good product that we're watching. That's how I know that we're all so dedicated. um but yeah, anyways, man, I do want to talk a little bit about the anime video that was dropped, because you know they focused on certain players as these characters, right? And at the beginning, they're all standing outside the Spectrum Center, and you kind of see who they highlight as their core. To start out, you got Tijan Salon, Miles Bridges, Con Canuple, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Liam McNeely. That's who's featured in this video. Now, I know there's going to be more little episodes like this. All the players kind of changed their profile pictures to these animated uh, characters. So I know there's going to be more involved, but it's just interesting to see that these six were the ones that were highlighted. And, you know, Trey Man, even though he just got a new contract extension, well, a new contract in general, um, not involved in this. That is the one that intrigued me the most because he just got more years here. So for him not to be here pictured is like, interesting. LaMelo, Brandon, Miles, Tijon, and the 2 first-round picks. That's what's here and highlighted. Um, so it's just something to kind of keep in mind. And I think that's a good core, especially if Liam and Con are playing like they were playing in Summer League. If Tijon comes out and plays like he was playing in Summer League, I think that is a great core. And to even just add, I think that's a great, good young core. And then you add Colin Sexton to that. You add in Trey Mann to that. And I mean, at the 3 position, there's minutes to go around. You add Grant Williams to that, healthy at the 4. You know, I don't really see Pat Connaughton. I don't know. I can see him making the roster, but I don't really see him getting minutes. But you add in a few stable veterans to this 6 young core. I see the vision. I do see the vision, but I think it's interesting to see, who they highlighted. And also, the Hornets do play 56 of our divisional games before the All-Star break. So, we play the Hawks, we play the Heat, the Magic, Wizards. We get that out the way early. And that's important, winning your division doesn't have really the implications that it used to. But, I mean, still, these are games that are important. You want to obviously beat your divisional rivals. But it really puts emphasis on the Hornets need to get out to a good start. They got to get out to a good start. And looking at our first 10 games, we have Brooklyn Nets as the first game of the year. It's a home opener. So I'm definitely going to have to be there October 22nd. We go on the road to the 76ers. That's our second game. So I'm going to see. I'm going to predict. Because I looked at it and I was like 7-3, but I'm still looking at it and go over. Brooklyn Nets win. On the road, 76ers win. Because I just don't think Joel Embiid is even going to be healthy to start the season. I don't think Joel Embiid or Paul George are probably going to be healthy to start the season. I don't. Paul George is in a club right now in a cast, looking like a fool. On the road at the Wizards, we could start out 3-0. Now the Miami Heat on the road, could be shaky, but I just don't fear the Heat, man. I think we get it done. If we're healthy and we're balling, I think we get it done. Orlando Magic at home. Doesn't Franz Wagner have a torn? Isn't he out? Mo Wagner's out, but somebody on the Magic is hurt, or maybe I'm tripping. But I feel like somebody on the Magic is hurt. I'm gonna say we start off 5-0, but I'm not gonna lie. We beat the Magic. I'm gonna say we go undefeated in October. Now, that 6 game versus Minnesota, we drop that. We lose that. We beat Utah, so we're at 6-1. I think we beat the Pelicans. We're 7-1. We dropped that second Miami game on the road. We might drop that. Beating them at home twice in a few game span. So we dropped 7-2 right there. And then that Lakers game at home, we might drop that. So I think that's 7. That's 7-3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so that's 10. So I do think that we probably drop that. I think we go 7-3 to start the season off, and we can flip flop those Miami games. I would rather us lose that first one in October and win that one in November because that is a cup qualifier for us. So I would prefer that, for us to switch that and win that one in November. Um, and don't get me wrong, we could start off better than that, or it could be worse. Uh, at worst, I'll say we're beating Brooklyn. Let's say we drop that Philly game, brings us to 1-1. We're beating the Wizards. That's 2-1. Let's say we drop that Miami game, 2-2. Let's say we drop that Magic game, 2-3. Say we drop that Minnesota game, 2-4. We beat Utah, 3-4. Then we still beat the Pelicans, 4-4. I don't think Miami's beating us twice. Let's say we beat Miami one time and was just to 5-4, and we lose that Lakers game, 5-5. So I still feel like at worst 500 first 10 games to start out, and I feel like that's decent. I mean, you just want to always hover around 500 if you can. Um, it's gonna be ups and downs in the schedule, but ultimately staying around 500 will be good. And I mean, looking at the schedule in November, is it's not a cakewalk. Um, we got you know Minnesota, Jazz, Pelicans. We got the Heat, the Lakers, the Bucks again, OKC, the Raptors, Pacers, Clippers, Hawks, Knicks, Bulls, Raptors. Okay, so actually, it's not too bad, but we got to play the Timberwolves, got to play the Heat again, Lakers, Bucks twice, OKC, Clippers, Knicks. So I mean, luckily, you get to play Raptors twice and get to play, obviously the hurt Pacers, get to play the Bulls, Utah. So yeah, it is probably about an even schedule. So yeah, I think that first, going into Thanksgiving, I think that we could definitely be above 500. I think we could definitely be. Let's look at December, and I'm gonna wrap this up too, because I know I'm getting towards 20 minutes, and this shouldn't even been that long of a video. Get into December, got the Nets again, Knicks again, Raptors again. So we played the Raptors plenty of time to start the season out. Got the Nuggets on the 7th. Um, NBA Cup quarterfinals, so we could be in that, maybe not. If not, we have a week off, a week and a half, really, week and a half. Play the Hawks, Pistons, that Cavs game that's on Peacock, the Wizards. We have Christmas. Then we play the Magic, Bucks, Warriors. So I mean, December isn't the worst schedule in the world, and we get a lot of time off. So I mean, we could really start the season off pretty good, man. I feel like the Hornets winning between 45 to 50 games is realistic. I still feel like that. Um, at the end of the day, man, all we have to do is remain healthy. Now, does the center position scare me? Yes. That is the only thing that's stopping me from like saying I know for a fact we're a playoff team. I know for a fact, the hesitancy is at the center position. Obviously we hope Musa continues to do what he was doing, putting up the double doubles and all that good stuff. And we hope that Ryan can impact an NBA game, but in the summer league, we saw some things where it could be questionable as far as how ready he is to, bang with these bigger bodies. And then we have Plumlee on our team, and I had to stop myself right there from saying an insult. You know how I feel about Mason Plumlee on this channel. So center rotation is not ideal. I still would like for us to acquire the center. I think Rashawn Holmes or somebody is still on the market. We'll see. And it depends on how the season is going. If the season is going pretty good and it's kind of like the team is clearly a center away, I think that Jeff will make a move. I don't think we'll wait to the deadline, to try to get a center if it's blatantly obvious that everything is going right besides center. So, it's something to monitor. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't even know how I got to 20 minutes in the first place, man. But yeah, man, if you are new to the channel, welcome, subscribe. If you've already been here, get to 1,500 subscribers. I'm doing a t-shirt giveaway, a Buzzboys t-shirt giveaway. So subscribe. If you have some Hornets fans, tell them to subscribe. And I'm about to start cranking out Carolina Panthers content. You see the flag back there. So if you're a Panthers fan, be ready for that content. If you know any Panthers fans, relay them to the channel. I'm really gonna try to stay focused on both teams this year. Football, it's really hard when the team is struggling because the Hornets, we play 3-4 times a week to where I can still, maybe something different is going to happen where you just waiting a week to get your tail whooped, wait a week to get your tail whooped. It's really demoralizing to create content for a struggling football team. But I do have a lot of hope in the Carolina Panthers this year. Receiver core is good, all of that. Defense is but yeah, stay on the lookout for Carolina Panthers content. Right now, going through these training camps, having these practices with the Texans, had a preseason game with the Browns. I meant to make some content about that, but I had some stuff going on and I just couldn't get it out. But yeah, also Carolina basketball, Carolina football, I'm gonna be cranking that out too. So just be on the lookout for a lot of content coming from my channel that's not necessarily Hornets oriented. The origin of this channel was supposed to be Hornets, Panthers, and Tar Heels. Those are 3 teams that I support. So I'm gonna definitely be stepping up this year as far as the other 2 go. But anyways, I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.